All right, I'm here with my buddy Abdul Faruqi, who has done over $125 million in the info product space. Brother, how you doing?
I'm doing good, man. How you doing?
Pretty good. So we're going to talk about some stuff you learned from this journey of 125 million. So first of all, most of the stuff you've done, you didn't even have your face on it, right?
Yeah, most of the stuff, no.
Yeah, so that's wild to me because I've done, obviously tens of millions at really good profit margins, blah, 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 but my face is on it. And I'm fine with that because, I have a message. I like being front facing. I like being the star of the show. But, you go to sleep at night and you're like, I wonder what it would be like to make even half this much money without having to show my face. And I know a lot of people feel like that as well. Or maybe you want to do a side project.
Yeah.
And you don't want your face on that, right?
Yeah.
What
you like it till you don't.
you like it till you don't, What's the big shift between, hey, I can still make a lot of money in the info product space, even if I don't use my face?
Yeah, I mean, like the first time I went from 0 to 8 figures with one of my first brands, I did use my face, but then I saw the reason why people were buying is because of the offer, the story, like my story that they were resonating with. And I knew I just needed to have someone else there be the face with a story. And you just need someone who could have a better story than yours. But like, we always lead with the offer. We find like problems in the marketplace that exist. And like, for example, our first company that did 8 figures was teaching people how to set up an agency business. We saw Ty Lopez absolutely crushing with that. And so we saw there was already product market fit. So we're like, okay, let's just launch a agency offer as well, teaching people how to launch an agency business. We just need someone with a story. First, it was my story. Then we brought on someone else who replaced my story.
Well, what do you mean you brought on somebody else?
Yeah, so we brought on someone who also had a successful agency business. And slowly, instead of me being on the ads, it was this blonde-haired dude who loves to surf, and he was making $30,000 a month with his agency business.
Blonde-haired white dude?
Blonde-haired white dude.
Did you, be honest with me, did you on purpose? Come on. Did you on purpose, like, we need a white dude?
It worked out. He was just like a younger, better looking version of Frank Kern. But it just worked out. And his ads converted just as well. Like you would think, Muslim brown dude, his ads clearly wouldn't convert as well. But it was the same.
Yeah. Wow. That's good.
And so, something
people
like
are not that racist. That's
what
the ad data. The blue hair guy can say that we're racist, but at the end of the day, the ad data doesn't lie.
Bad news for you, good news for me. Yeah.
So what? But what was his gig? Like, why did he agree to do this?
I mean, he was making good money with his agency, but there was more money to be made for him to just show up for an ad, And you can pay people to just show up for like a day, and you can also give them a royalty out of the net profits or even net sales.
So let's just say you make $1 million in net. What do you pay the white guy?
Every deal is a little bit different. So if they already have a YouTube channel, they already have some sort of influence, but they don't have a product that they're selling, you would give that person a little bit more. You can give them 10 to 20% for being the face.
So, but that's if they're kind of already doing something. Let's say they just have something and you're like, hey, I can monetize this. What do you pay them?
If they don't have any social media presence at all,
yeah,
I probably wouldn't do it with them.
Oh, you wouldn't?
I wouldn't.
So like let's say I find somebody who's good at I don't know, weight loss, right?
Yeah.
Like they were fat and then they got jacked. And I'm like, how did you do it? And they're like, oh, I went on this celery juice anal cleanse or something like that, right? And now I'm like, I got the celery anal
probably exists
masterclass. Yeah. Yeah. So like now here I got my celery anal masterclass that I run ads to, and and then we sell it. what does the celery guy get?
Yeah, so he has some sort of YouTube
No,
following.
he just has a bunch of celery juice he shoves up his and he lost weight. That's it. I just met him at a
Yeah.
library.
So you got to define the scope of work, right? If the scope of work is just to show up for ads, you can just pay them for a day for ads. And you can just pay them like, $2,000 to shoot ads for that day.
Who's shooting a course?
So if they're going to shoot the course as well, then you can just pay them for the course as well.
Didn't Tai Lopez do that? Didn't he like bring people out to his house, film a course, and then sell it? And didn't he do that?
Yeah, he did do it.
Did that work out for him?
Yeah, he did. He crushed it with like SMMA, and he crushed it with like a few other courses.
Credit card offers.
Yeah.
How to get free credit cards.
But he diluted his personal brand because he was always using his personal brand as well. And then people were like, yo, this guy's just slinging everything under the sun, you know?
No, but I wouldn't do it like that. Oh, you mean instead of doing it faceless with ads, he brought him to his house and he interjected them into his brand and his message.
Yeah.
Makes sense. So let's say, let me just walk myself through this.
Yeah.
Let's say I find someone who, I don't know, has like, they're really good with marriage and it's like, stop your divorce.
Yeah.
And so I bring them over, maybe I take them to the studio, I have them film a course, I have them film a bunch of ads.
Yeah.
I make the funnel, I write all the emails. Do I pay them a one-time deal?
Yeah, so we've done this where someone had a very small following and we just paid them for like their time of shooting, like one time. But we also got him on a retainer because we needed them to show up on a weekly call and provide support. So
what if they tell you to fuck off?
There's so many experts out there.
Yeah, but okay, maybe I'm not understanding, because I know if I'm watching this video,
the
first thing I'm going to think is, but isn't their name? Isn't the Facebook page you see the ad from? Is it their name?
Yeah, or you could also do a brand name as well, right?
Does that affect the conversion?
It's always a little bit better, but if your offer is super strong and very unique and like, you know, so if you're just selling a course,
second wife,
if you do a very, let's go. Yeah, like setting up an offer like, hey, how to get a second wife is not like the easiest offer to pull off. But if you've got the systems dialed in that, you know, you're trying to find like a lot of ladies out there, and
that's obviously a Muslim offer, a Muslim market.
Yeah, most likely.
Or it's illegal in the U.S.
Depends with state, right?
There's probably more states where you can marry your sister than there is your second wife.
Sisterwives.com.
Sisterwives.com. Let's say you do it branded, right?
Yeah.
You hire somebody. They're not. Isn't the audience going to kind of put them up on a pedestal and make them the guru, and then maybe they have some sort of leverage over your business? How can you do it in a way where it's like, look, just come over, shoot, and buy?
Yeah.
How do you do that?
Yeah. So if your offer is unique enough, then the subject matter expert like risk is mitigated. Okay, so this is very important thing to understand, because some people, for example, like if they're going to be buying like a ''𝐾𝐚𝐧 product, they're buying because of the personal brand. So you have a lot of key man risk there.
Key man risks.
Key man risk.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Key man risk. Okay.
So the way to mitigate key man risk is you always bring power back to the brand. So when they're shooting content or shooting courses, something is like branded, like, you know, Harmozy does it all the time. He's like acquisition.com. He's always wearing the hats. He's always wearing the shirts. Right now, he's leading with his personal brand, but most likely 5 years from today, there's going to be other people that are wearing the acquisition.com gear.
He did that with gym launch. That's exactly what he did.
That's exactly.
He's like, let me get a white lady. Let me get a brown lady. Let me get an Asian.
Gym launch. He's in playbook.
Yeah, he said that. He said that he would get people of different genders and races.
Yeah.
To represent, to expand, because you know.
And we've done that too with our offers as well. You just bring in like a different actor to represent. But
you specifically focus on like race and gender?
Not really, but like for if
that
I
what he did? Like if he wanted the black market, he would just hire a black spokesman. If he wanted the Asian market, he
oh, you mean like that on the ads? Yeah, I
yeah,
did.
because you know if you,
On the ads, affinity matters a lot. Like
yeah.
how you look like actually does play a part. In my ads, for example, attracted more immigrants, whereas the white guy who ran ads attracted just the broader
I
audience.
feel like you could attract both like Muslim immigrants and surfers because you look like
laid back.
you just look like somebody took a you know a Pakistani Muslim and a California surfer and went.
Oh, that's the nicest thing I've heard.
You know, so maybe you could attract both.
Yeah,
lose.
it was funny because one of my ads that got 50 million views, it talked about an online billboard business. So I brought it on the town because everyone was talking about, even I think Sam Ovens at that time was running ads on how to run a Facebook, how to set up a Facebook ads business. I didn't talk about Facebook ads. I talked about online billboards because everyone knows what a billboard is.
Yeah.
And I said, hey, you know what a billboard business is, but what you don't know about is an online billboard business that doesn't come up with
You're
it.
such a biz up guy.
So it,
like you take what's a niche thing and you make it use a relatable analogy to make the average person understand it so the average person can buy.
yeah, it's the Trump playbook, you know, just,
Yeah.
you got to just dumb it down. Yeah.
Wow. Interesting.
Just like whenever I sit in an Uber, I always think, can I explain my business to this guy? Right. And I try that all the time. And then it comes to a point where it's like, oh, now this guy gets it.
The Uber, that's a good one. Can I explain it to my Uber driver?
Yeah.
That's a really good way to think about it. Okay. You mentioned if the offer is unique enough,
Yeah.
it mitigates the risk, the key man risk of the person you hire to be the spokesperson, them kind of getting an ego and running away and ruining your company. So
Yeah.
what do you see as a unique offer? What makes an offer unique?
Okay, so should we take this second wife as an example?
Well, that's that. Okay, so for a context, right, in Dubai, a lot of people have second wives, and a lot of Muslim men are looking for second wives. So the Americans are not going to get this; they're going to spaz out hearing this. But if you're in,
Should we make it a broader offer then? Let's talk
wait, no, but
broader.
but see, that's what I would call a no-brainer, right? Like that offers a no-brainer. It's so unique,
Yeah.
like out of the gate that duh, you know.
Yeah.
But those are like unicorn offers. You know what I mean? That's like a
And
unicorn
you know, the market is always bigger than you think. It's so for example, if you have an offer, so let's create a spectrum here, right? I'm from Canada, so
It's like you've told that joke before.
no, first
That's
time.
fucking amazing. It's on a spectrum. You know, I'm from Canada. So.
Okay, so on the left side, let's say the offer is, I'm gonna help you. Here's a course on finding a wife. Okay, that's a very broad offer, and a course on like anyone can create it. Like this is how you can attract a wife.
Right.
And if the subject matter expert is tied to that offer, they're buying because they trust this person so much. Right? They're like, hey, you know what? Like, there's other offers out there that teach people how to get a wife, but like, I like this guy.
Because maybe he has two wives.
No, this one's not even about a second wife. This is just about getting a wife.
Oh, getting a wife.
So they have to like Dan Henry so much. Let's say Dan Henry's the face of this brand, that they're like, hey, I trust Dan's advice on relationships, and that's why I'm gonna buy this.
That's the personal brand power.
Yes, the personal brand brings in the uniqueness.
Okay.
You know, the
But
personal.
how do you make it unique without the personal brand?
So again, the spectrum, right? So now let's go towards, instead of making the personal brand being the unique element, make the offer more of the unique element. So let's move it, instead of helping you find helping you find a wife, I'm gonna help you find a second wife as a course. Now the offer is a bit more unique. Hey, not many people are talking about this offer, but Dan Henry does. But this offer is like so
Ease up.
I don't want to get you killed. Hey, maybe we'll get more views then. This was the podcast.
Probably.
Ended the
Yeah. Can you imagine the real white guy walks down the street with 2 wives in Dubai? That real would go crazy.
Should we change the name? Hey, you okay to continue on because we're gonna get more.
No, I'm good to go. Go. I don't care.
Okay, so hey, you're known for being a little provocative, so let's go. So now the offer is more unique. And it's like, yeah, I like this Dan Henry guy, but like this offer, not many people are talking about it. He's gonna help me find a second wife. Okay, I'm interested in his like $500 blueprint or 5-day challenge on how to get a second wife. I'm interested.
Good offer.
It's already a good offer.
I see.
Now let's go further along the spectrum. Instead of now, it's like we are going to find a second wife for you. We're going to give you 20 options and you can vet them. We're going to give you applications. And these are all women that have been vetted by us. They don't have a criminal background. They have a good history. Their medical records are good. And this is a done for you service that we're selling. Now, the brand Dan Henry doesn't matter as much. Now, the uniqueness comes from the offer itself. And so if when you have secondwife.com shirts,
There already is a secondwife.com.
there,
Yeah, but yeah, I'm sure there's a
you can spell it differently.
yeah, like 2 wives right here.
Yeah, two.
Okay, but so there's a guy I know who he doesn't get you a second wife. He gets you. So his target is like American men who are sick and tired of the Western marriage mindset, and they just want a respectful, in their words, obedient wife.
Yeah.
And so he basically he just knocks door to door in Morocco, and so you pay him. I think it's like 10 grand.
Submissivewife.com.
Yeah, I don't know. You pay him 10 grand,
Yeah.
and he goes door to door in Morocco and talks to the families and literally gets you a Moroccan wife. And Moroccan women are known for treating their husbands like kings. Like getting a massage every day and all this stuff. And in America, that's like not even. That's like a video game at best. That's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
So it's sort of like a Passport Bros offer. But you don't have to get the passport. Or
Well, what's the Passport Bros offer?
Passport Bros is like basically saying, hey, if you want to find a good wife, move overseas and marry a foreign woman, right? And his offer is more like, I'll just go get you one for 10 grand and not deliver to your doorstep, but because you probably got to get her a visa and all this, but you know what I mean? Like he'll go find you one. And his he crushes it with it, even though his marketing, in my opinion, is not the greatest, but it doesn't have to be the greatest because the offer is just so good.
Yeah.
Like, are you pissed off with the quality of women around you? I will find you like the perfect one because she's from a culture that is perfect for you, for what you want. Here you go.
Right.
It's just, it's a good, and what I've noticed about these offers is the provocativeness of it. Like the offer has to piss people off. Like think about it. A second wife is going to piss a lot of people off because there's so many people who don't agree with polygamy. Even in Islam, there are Muslims that don't agree with it or don't like it, which is a little weird considering it's like a part of the religion, but we'll digress.
Yeah.
But then the Americans definitely don't like it. The European, the Westerners definitely don't like it.
Yeah.
At the same time, with finding like a Moroccan wife, same thing. Like American women or European women or whatever. Well, maybe no, not European women, but like American or Canadian women for sure are probably not going to like that. They're more Western. They're thinking, oh, he's only getting this wife from Morocco because she's going to be submissive. Like they have a negative view on it.
Yeah.
And so it's built-in polarity. There's that built-in.
Yeah.
Like,
Usually if anything requires more courage.
Yeah.
There's more opportunity there.
Yeah. So you got to be a crazy Floridian to run the office.
You have to take some risk, I guess.
Okay.
Like you look at, for example, starting a drop shipping business, way more competitive because you don't have to put your face out there. You don't have to talk to clients.
And it doesn't take courage.
It doesn't take courage.
Whereas such a good way to think about it.
You start an agency, you have to talk to people. It requires courage. And that's why it's one of the easiest business models to start. you know? So similarly with offer creation as well, you know, like it's that first layer of social stigma. If, you know, that's one of the barriers to entry. So, yeah.
That's really good. No, what you said there, if it takes courage, it's a unique offer. You know?
It's one of the elements. If your ROAS, return on ad spend, is not good, chances are because your offer is not unique enough. You're not bringing uniqueness in a way the customer cares, either through a lack of personal brand or a lack of like offer fulfillment infrastructure. There's so many like offers out there that people just haven't taken the time to put in work, like productizing a service.
Do you think info itself, because like digital products, like if you really think about it, we've made most of our money in info and agency, some sort of service.
Yeah.
But see, if you think about it, most people will start out with a service. They'll make a little bit of money. Then they'll move to info products.
Yes.
Then they'll make a lot of money. And then they'll realize that there's a sort of a bell curve, right?
Yeah.
And you taper off, because I was talking to Iman yesterday. We went to a Russian banya, which was pretty intense. But
like a Turkish bath or something?
Yeah, but it was like a torture chamber version of a Turkish bath.
Oh, man.
Dude, it's like, you know, we have crazy white people shit. This is Russian crazy white people shit. This is like a whole nother level. I was like, oh my God. But anyway, he said that you get face fatigue. So when you're a guru and you sell info, you get face fatigue. People get sick of, you're not the new kid on the block after a while. You know, people in info, people like to buy from the new kid on the block. When I came out, dude, it was super easy to sell stuff because I was new. You know, now everybody's used to seeing my damn face. So do you think that same rule doesn't apply when you sell done for you?
There's some advantages there for sure, because the offer itself, again, is what's selling. So you can change the face, you know, you can overcome the face fatigue more. Also, the reason why your ads were working 4 or 5 years ago is because there's way fewer competition, you know? Now there's way more competition, and like I went through the same thing as well. Like I created a multi-million-dollar agency, but then I we used the agency, tritongrowth.com, where we started like launching our own products, right? And so we made a lot more money through that. And then eventually I came to find out that, oh, there's so much more competition now, like the profit margins started going down. But the opportunity was going back, it was a full circle. Oh, we got to go back to the service model. But the way to scale the service model is productizing it. So because you know exactly what your deliverables are, now you can charge $25,000, $50,000 for a service. You know, it's a product you're selling. You know exactly what the delivery is. So you can scale to like millions a month. And you don't have as much key man risk because the service is great. So I really think this is the next evolution of our market, going back to the service, but productizing the service.
If you can take what would maybe normally be an info offer, because you can sell a course on how to do XYZ, or you can do it for them, right? If you were going to do that and you were going to systemize it where you had a team that just fulfilled, you don't think that would break at some point? You don't think that's harder to make it break? Like, what's your secret to scaling done for you, where you can get 100 clients a month versus 10 clients a month?
Yeah. Honestly, it comes down to having really strong operational talent. Like, you got to have 10 out of 10 operators that you're partnering up with. So in my business, right, at our peak, we did 50 million in a year. And then everything like started falling apart because my integrator, right, my operator, the guy who's day to day in the business, making sure the team is working and like working well, he was like maybe a 7 out of 10 talent.
Okay.
So you need someone who's a superstar that is that's just making sure fulfillment's dialed in. So customers are happy. They're loving the product. They're getting results. Measuring your NPS score, right? Like net promoter score.
Yeah.
And when you have someone like that, you can keep on scaling pretty quickly.
But you don't think like, because in theory, when you have fulfillment, right? If, like, let's say I say something like, I'm gonna write you a sales letter. I'm gonna build you a website. I'm gonna write you a done for you book. I'm gonna find you a wife or a second wife.
Yeah.
In theory, oh, I do this, I do this, I do this. Here you go. But in reality, they're like, well, can you change this and this? Well, I don't like this about my web. Well, you know, I don't know about this. Like, you know, in info, they get a log into the course.
Yeah.
Bye. Done. Right?
Right.
Or even in coaching, they get a log in.
Yeah.
And they come on calls and it's systemized. Like the fulfillment is systemized. But in done for you, there's that element of, I'm not happy with this. Can you change it?
Yeah. So you got to define the scope right off the get-go. That, hey, let's say done for you book. We're going to help you with your book. We're going to help you with your origin story. We're going to help you with like all these elements of your book. Your book is going to be between this many pages, and it's going to come with like 10 calls post, you know, or 10 editing calls. And let's say they go through that whole service delivery, you go back to the scope, right? That, hey, Dan, this is what we talked about, and this is what we've delivered on. And you'll still go the extra mile a little bit, so they feel like, yeah, I mean, he's right. He did do these 10 follow-up calls. But you know what? Like, we're going to give you 15 more just so you're truly
Do you
happy.
feel like that expectation exists in the market now where if you don't get more than you paid for in terms, like contractually, it's like you're a bad person, you know?
Yeah.
Because you got to think, especially in things like people are
I think
emotional.
it's the other way around, man. I think in our market, just the delivery sucks. Like people just want to make quick money. Think about it, right? Like who does our market consist of? These are people that want to make money selling passwords. So obviously it's going to attract a certain type of individual that wants the allure of easy money. Here's a password, give me $5,000.
Yeah.
You know?
125 million,
Yeah.
which is a lot, by the way. That's a lot. Most of this not your face.
Most of this is not my face.
What was the best offer?
Best in what way?
Best in what way? Easiest to sell, easiest to fulfill, and easiest to scale.
There's nothing like that.
That's all three. So it's either easy to sell, hard to fulfill, easy to fulfill, hard to
Yes.
sell.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
You get lucky with timing, though. In the beginning, it was easy. And when we first started, we scaled from 0 to $1 million a month. It was easy to fulfill. Not many people were doing it. We had no competition. But like that doesn't last.
Did you tell?
That
But
doesn't last.
why did competition happen? Because you were yakking about it, and people were like, "Oh, he's making money," or just people somehow noticed.
So this happened after COVID, right? Everyone wanted to go start a business online. So there was just an influx. The market grew really fast. And then people started getting back into work. So the market, like the supply shrunk. And the competition also entered as well, right? Yeah.
So,
But if it's easy to scale, easy to fulfill, very profitable, it's not going to last. It doesn't last unless you have created this moat, right? Like our friend Imad, and you have a huge personal brand, then that can last for a little while. Yeah.
okay. So what was the easiest to sell? What generally is the easiest to sell?
Done for you offer fulfillment because
In
now
what space? In what industry?
not as much B2B. Okay.
Really?
Not as much. So for example, if you do a done for you book in the expert space,
Okay.
now everyone is advertising to the expert market, you know? Every expert is like, hey, I figured this out. Let me now sell it to the 1 million or 500,000 ClickFunnels people out there, and everyone's advertising to that market. It's going to be more difficult. Whereas if you go a little bit beyond B2B, right? Not it's still B2B, but lawyers, for example, if you help a lawyer with some sort of like, hey, we're going to build a lead generation system for you and we specialize with lawyers, that's a better B2B. That's less of a red ocean.
Yeah, my buddy, good friend and client, Andy Stickle, they do like 2 to 3 million a month setting up marketing campaigns for lawyers.
Yeah.
Fun for you.
And one of our offers that we launched towards was the contractor market, helping contractors build their done-for-you client acquisition systems.
Really? How's that offer doing?
The reason we got into that market is because someone was making 8 figures net in that offer.
Contractors meaning like roofers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And you basically just set up a email campaign and lead generation for them?
Yeah, we ran ads, we did events, and then we would sell them into a 10 to 20.
What did you build for them?
So that offer, we didn't have much success. We got to 6 figures, but then we just didn't have a good operator
To fulfill. But it was easy to sell?
It was easy to sell. Yeah.
Oh, okay. And so you set up like did you do ads for them, or did you just set up a lead generation, or?
Yeah, so we got them, we had 2 funnels. We had a book funnel, and then after they bought the book, we had events, and we also have a direct event funnel. We would just get them into a free event because these are business owners, and you're going after a very targeted.
I've made almost all my money, like the best money, with doing presentations, because that's what I sell. That's what I sell now. I sell how to create one single presentation that gets you clients for life. It's so funny you say this, because every time I meet somebody like you or whoever who's just done gobs of money, it always comes back to a presentation.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Which, by the way, means it's time to hear from our sponsor, which is me. If you want me to help you build an epic pitch in just 3 days, tweak your offer, tweak your message, and have a great pitch to go with it, join the Epic Pitch Challenge. I'll leave a link in bio. Sponsored by me. Huh? Wait, you want me to sell toilet paper? Might as well sell my own stuff.
That's a done-for-you offer as well, basically, no?
The challenge that we do, they come on for 3 days, and I walk them through how to explain
the framework
for making a great offer, how to explain it where it's crystal clear, and how to develop a pitch behind it. And it's funny because Steve Jobs, Tony Robbins, Tony Robbins is the only billionaire life coach. It's because people think that Tony Robbins is in the life coaching business. He's not. He's in the presentation business. If you think about it, you have all these offers. Faceless. You're not in this business, the contractor business. No, really, you're in the presentation business, because what is the way that you sell them all? Webinars, that's how you sell
events.
It.
Yeah.
Events. These are presentations.
Yes, even a VSL.
It's a presentation.
It's automated. Yeah.
Yeah. And so
the presentation is working for me even when I'm sleeping.
Right.
It's getting right now while we're doing this.
Dude, I know a buddy of mine. He makes millions of dollars. He just writes and makes presentations, and he sells supplements. He doesn't even own the supplements.
Yeah.
That's where you make the money, when you're
100%.
in the presentation business.
100%.
And so anyway, so I teach them this, and I teach them how to create how to create a pitch for their business, right? So they're crystal clear on their message and their offer, because most people struggle to grow in their business because they don't take action, and they don't take action because they're not clear on what they're selling and how they explain what they're selling.
Yes.
We get them crystal clear in those 3 days. And then some of them will invest in our Epic Pitch Mastery program, where we actually help them create a paid presentation. We help them create it, and they come on each week, and they build it out as we go. It's done with you. It's actually a mixture of done for you and done with you, because there's some done for you elements. But I had thought about possibly making it done for you, because really technically, they could come in and just do a 3-hour interview with one of my staff, and we could take all of that and just build it out for them. We could. My only concern with that, and I'll be direct and blunt, most of the people that buy are coaches. Some that buy are agencies.
Yeah.
Agencies are fine. The coaches, because I know what it's like to be this, dude, coaches change their mind every 5 minutes. Like 1 minute they want to be a health coach, the next minute they want to be a ballerina, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, they change their minds internally too much. So
They don't have a business, basically, right?
yeah, there's a low barrier of entry.
So we did this as well, right? One of the reason why I have done so well is because we would set up a successful presentation, whether it was a VSL or webinar or event. And bro, I have like a very high success rate because I'm good at that bit, presentation, webinar, and all that, right? And so my launches, I have like a 85 to 90% success rate. And in our agency, I was helping some people too, but then I realized, okay, my presentation is going to be sick. They're going to like crush, but they don't have a real business, some of them that are absolute newbies. So I created a new, like a filter. If you're not doing 7 figures already, then we're not going to be a growth partner like with our agency. But we can, like, what you should do is you should like learn to build it yourself, and there's people to learn from as well on how to build up the presentation yourself. But like, if you're not doing at least like multiple 6 figures already, you don't really have any traction. You don't have a real business a lot of times, and you have to figure that out.
That's true, because we do actually have a done for you version of it. I write the pay presentation. I charge $100,000 and a percentage of sales. And
similar,
and all the people that I've worked with on that, they're at 7 figures. So
there you go. If they're willing to pay you 100, that's exactly what it is, because it's similar for us, but there's like media buying and whatnot. But like, if you're not willing to pay $100K,
dude, I would rather sell, if I make, like, we did 800K, we did 800,000 last month.
Nice.
And all of that was not, I didn't sell a single done for you 100K, because I already have enough 100K clients.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I literally cannot take on any more.
Yeah.
Which is crazy, right? I mean, it's a good problem to have.
Yeah.
But I would rather sell something that I don't have to fulfill on. And I just show up for a weekly call. I've already built the systems out for them. My team checks their work, checks their presentations, grades them, all this stuff. And I show up for calls. So for me, it's like, I want to sell something that is very low fulfillment. But what would be great is if it was 0 fulfillment.
Yeah. So that's where you create tiers, right? So what we did is, if you are not already doing 7 figures, then there's no chance for you to work with Abdul, basically. But if you are, and you're willing to pay at least $100K, then I have to accept it, basically.
Yeah, but what happens if you have way too many people that want to? I get too many people that want to.
I would do if I were you is maybe bring it up to like 200, 250.
That's true.
And then you have like 100K, which is your team, right? Like the best people you can have as part of your fulfillment. They fulfill on the 100K and you fulfill on the 250, but you don't accept everyone. Like Russell does this as well. I think like $1 million.
Yeah.
So that's where you filter out people with your price point as well.
Yeah. But even at 250, like, I don't care if it's 500. At some point,
you want to have the
that can't be the bulk of your revenue. It's got to be stuff you don't fulfill on, or at least that you're not the bottleneck of.
The reason is also most people don't have a real business. Like, it's just like, am I trying to rescue your business? I don't I want to help winners win more when it comes to when you're charging someone 100K, 250K, you want to help winners win more.
So so go back to the contractor offer. That was hard for you to fulfill. What's another offer that was easy to sell that, might have been done for you?
So one of our most successful programs was an agency program, where we taught people how to launch an agency business. I've done it myself multiple times. All my brothers have become millionaires because I helped them set up their own agencies as well.
Which essentially is a done for you.
It was, because I helped my brothers, and all my brothers became, mashallah, I have 4 brothers, and they all became millionaires.
But did you help them set up a marketing agency or any agency?
Based on their skill set. So one of my brothers is an introvert, and I got him into like media buying. So he's a total nerd geek. He loves being in front of the screen. So he's buying media. One of my brothers extroverted. He's got a sales agency. Another brother, people person, affiliate marketing agency. And then eventually we all just like
It's all marketing.
Huh?
It's all marketing.
It's all like marketing related, yes. So eventually we merged, and that's what like Triton is all about. Now I'm like, okay, all my brothers became millionaires, so like obviously I did a done for you service for them where I helped them with the knowledge and I helped them with some of the client acquisition too. So we're like, okay, why don't we do a done for you agency setup where we help you set up your own agency, just like I helped my brothers. And on top of that, I'll even land their first few clients for them. And so I launched we'll help you set up your own agency, like done for you service. And that's been like great for us because we're doing everything we've done so many times.
Is that making you the most money? Or is it something else?
So this is something that has had one of the fastest like launches. We just launched it about like a few months ago,
But
and
with
it's
ads,
profitable
right?
as well. It's running with us.
Because you don't have a big social following, do you?
No. So when I don't have much of a following at all, bro. That's what's crazy, you know?
Yeah, like
It's so when I was with the agency business, right? Like when I launched that 4 years ago, someone was like, "Hey, I want to buy your course, Abdul." But then there's this kid called 𝐴𝐚𝐧 who had like 70,000 followers on Instagram, and they're like, "I want to buy yours, but I've been watching his videos. I think I'm just gonna buy his." And I was like, I looked up his Instagram and 70,000 followers. I'm like, who's this kid like uploading organic videos? You don't need to do that. I'm doing almost 2 million a month, like with ads. And today, you know, there's been a
but dude,
compounding
the
effect.
profit on organic, because like that's what happened to me in the first 3 or 4 years. All I did was run ads, and I mean I made good money because back then ads were cheaper, right?
Yes.
But now I've invested into because I was at his house 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Okay, on the Palm, and Iman was like, dude, he was like, this was what got me. He said, if you spend 20 grand a month on ads, and then you just take that 20 grand and you just spend it on a content team, you'll have the best content team in the world. He said 60 to 90 days, not 6 months.
Wow.
Yeah. But he also knows what he's doing.
But he's also one in like 100,000 20-something-year-old kids who's done it successfully. You know?
He's very smart. He's you know what's interesting about him is he's not, and he'll tell you he's not like the best copywriter or any of this. He understands the business the best. That's what makes him successful. Is he understands the model, right? And when you understand, and I've always realized that the people that make the most money are people that understand the business. Like Trump. Trump understands businesses.
Yeah.
He understands like the macro, you know? And I think as marketers, sometimes we get too focused on the on like the micro, like the little things, like the webinar and stuff, and not like the macro of it all.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I agree. I think obviously you got to be pretty like you need to have multiple layers of understanding to like break off like he did as well. And that was my understanding afterwards because ads has been great for me.
Yeah.
But then over the last year,
profit margin? How's the profit margin?
depends on the offer. The more done for you the offer is, the higher the profit margin.
The higher the profit margin.
Yeah, the more done for you, we're talking about like 70% profit margins.
Whoa, I would think. Whoa, hold on.
But
on the opposite, because you would have more fulfillment.
Yeah, but if you can create fulfillment the right way, usually the most expensive cost of a business is the cost of acquiring a customer.
Yeah, the advertising.
And
so are you saying that the conversion rate is just so much higher with done for you that it makes up for the operational expenses?
Yeah, absolutely.
Really?
You look at even Harmozy as well, gym launch. He was running a very good profit margin because of the done for you element. And so with us, where we don't have it done for you, our margins are like small, but we make up for it because of the volume, right? One of my friends, like, I don't know if you know about VShred, they do like 200 million a year, but very slim profit margins. Same thing with like Lady Boss as well, like very slim profit margins, but like the volume is so great. So it's two different business models, you know?
You know what's really funny? Like, now that I think about it, as I'm closing my eyes and thinking about it, like when we work with our clients to do paid presentations, it's almost like the same amount of work to take them through multiple weeks and help them build it. Because we have like a done for you element to it. We've built out our own systems where it's like step by step. Like they decide, okay, here's the topic, here's what they're gonna say, here's the like bullet points, and we deliver them this this book. And when they do their presentation, they literally just open the book, read it, and write it on the board, and it converts, right? But we build it with them and we make the decisions with them. We could easily just write it for them and take them out of the decision-making process. The problem that I see is in the expert market, the coaching market, people want to be involved, even though they're really not, like, I'm gonna be real, they're not qualified to be involved. Like they don't know shit about copywriting, but they want to be involved in the copywriting process because they have these thoughts in their heads like, oh, I need to make sure it's on brand. And you don't have a brand. Like, what do you mean on brand? Like,
the service business is you're in the service business, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And trust me, Dan, I've had those convos with people.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Oh, you have no idea. I've done over 100 million sales. Like, why are you telling me how to do your marketing?"
That's what, yeah.
And that's why, like,
that's why I shy away from done for you. Because, no, I know. Because if I show you what to do and you don't do it, that's your problem. But if I do it for you and you're like, well, I think we should say this instead based on...
do you hate money?
Do you hate money? And then it's just like, ugh. So that's my resistance. That's my hesitation with done for you in the expert market, because they're their own worst enemy. And I know I'm my own worst enemy. Like I make the most money when I stop listening to that little voice in my head that says, no, do it. You know, people will think like you're sharing too much, or you're doing this or whatever. It's a toxic cycle. The expert market's toxic because when you are an expert, you tend to have a lot of trauma. Because nobody that lived a cushy life is an expert at anything. It's always people that lived a life, and then they want to do something about it, and that's where they got their expertise, because they were angry about something, you know. So,
and it's the allure of making money selling passwords.
Yeah. So, how do you think about fulfillment in that arena, or what's the best market for fulfillment? Let's put it that way.
Honestly, everyone's a little bit different. For everyone, you have to think, where's my affinity tied to? Like, I could have done that lawyer offer and crushed it, because I also ran marketing for one of the largest personal injury law firms in America. And I could have launched that offer. I was this close to launching that offer, actually. So it depends, right? Like, if you're someone with if you're, let's say, in your 40s as a female and you found the love of your life,
right,
you're like, your story is gonna resonate and you're gonna help out. So what is the best market? Like, there's so many, but it needs to be tied with your affinity as well, you know?
But if it's faceless and you're hiring an expert, does it need to be like, what do you know about roofing?
Oh, so are you asking how I find the blue ocean offers?
Yes.
Dude,
it's a better way to ask the question.
So, okay, here's the secret sauce. So there's a website called builtwith.com.
Builtwith.com.
And what you can do is you can put in software names. So you can put in ClickFunnels, you can put Hyros. And this software picks up which websites are using Hyros, okay? And which websites are using ClickFunnels.
No way.
Okay? Now we had a database of tens of thousands of websites. Okay. Then I had an analyst go through every single website and pull up majestic SEO numbers, which shows how much traffic they're getting. So then I knew their traffic.
You nerd.
I used to be an investment banker analyst, right? So I also understand like everything's about numbers and whatnot. So anyway, then I had like over tens of thousands of websites with their traffic data. And then I tracked it on a monthly basis, their traffic numbers. So I could see uptrends or downtrends. And I filtered out most like 90% of the websites that weren't getting enough traffic. So now I had this database of 1,000 websites. And with now ChatGPT, you can also have like which markets are doing well. So I could see real estate is doing well. Faceless YouTube channels are doing well. These offers are doing well. And you go to industry events and you see who's getting the awards and who's doing well, who's not doing well. And so you find, you put your ear to the ground.
How's the coaching market doing, like the expert market?
I think it always depends on the offer, but like it is a red ocean.
Yeah.
But
What's the
if you have a little bit of brand, like that's your unique, it goes back to the uniqueness.
But what's the blue ocean where the fish jump in your boat?
The riches are in the niches. Okay. So like some of the offers we mentioned are going to be blue ocean offers. Helping someone find a second wife is going to be a blue ocean offer.
Helping someone find a Middle Eastern wife when they're Western. That's
a submissive wife. That could be a.
So you like that? You like that frame, don't you?
I think it's very graphic. By the way, I have one wife only, and she's not exactly submissive, but she's great.
See, you should sign up for my offer.
The pain point's not great. I'm happy.
Okay. It's because this is on camera.
Right now. Right now, there's a need towards like building organic following. Everyone wants to be like Hermosi, like there's that movement in the marketplace. People are willing to pay to get bigger on social media.
But how do you do it done for you for something like that?
So we know the biggest leverage points on YouTube are like a organic following is like the packaging, the title, the thumbnail, and the hook.
Yeah.
So you could have like a YouTube strategist actually would just work on these three things. This is the 80-20, and that's part of your done for you offer. So it could be like, hey, I've done so well with my YouTube channel.
So I don't want to do anything done for you that's creative.
Yeah.
It's too much variable. Like finding someone a wife, there's nothing creative about that. Like there's no creativity.
Yeah,
right?
It could be systemized. Yeah,
That's a system. But YouTube thumbnails and all that shit, like nothing changes.
But bro, think about it. If you're going the outlier method on YouTube as well, you're already 80% ahead. Like you're talking about the top 1% where you're being creative.
No, I'm saying that the YouTube game changes, right? So think about this, right? If you teach marketing, that changes every 5 minutes. But like Tony Robbins has said the same thing for 30 years because he's helping people who are depressed, who are not nothing changes about being depressed.
Yeah.
People who were depressed 50 years ago,
Yeah.
this shit's the same as it is today.
Yeah.
People who lack confidence, people who have problems in their marriage, people who struggle to get their kids to listen to them. These are evergreen problems. Marketing, 1 week it's Facebook ads, the next week TikToks get banned. Dude, TikTok. Imagine you had a TikTok offer, how to grow on TikTok, and then the U.S. government bans it. You're talking fucked.
You're right, but you're talking about fulfillment problems.
I'm talking the whole offer, the whole thing.
So there's two things here. If I'm saying what will sell, but then you gotta figure out the fulfillment. This would sell, but the reason I also didn't do it, like I have a YouTube channel, I don't get as many views as you get, but eventually it will grow.
I know why you don't get that many views. Because you're like, hey guys, I'm a marketer, buy my You're just very like VSL about it. I used to be like that too when I relaxed. And I was just like, that's when the YouTube took off. It's a hard thing to figure out.
It's one of the hardest.
Yeah, because you're just so used to being like 𝐃𝐚� mode. Like, hi guys, in this video, blah blah blah. And it's hard when you made a living in VSLs and webinars and presentations. It's hard to
unlearn.
But you know what I'm finding even in webinars and stuff, the more relaxed, like non-professional, non-polished is converting better. These people are sick of the whole like,
Yeah.
you're gonna learn these 3 things.
Yeah, and I think directness helps as well, like especially on the done for you element. When you have a more indirect offer, it's harder to put the marketing together. But when your fulfillment's so good, like you could be very direct with your offer too. So same thing with like YouTube. The reason why like that works well is because you could be just direct with people. You could be real, Yeah. So now going back into what we were talking about just right now. So there's offers where the done for you, like we launched a done for you affiliate marketing as well. We call it MoFu. Okay. Middle of the funnel traffic where so this is another offer that performed really well. It was so easy to get clients because everyone was just losing their shirt on running traffic on ads. They're spending so much money paying Google and whatnot. They're like, I don't want to pay for a client acquisition. So we launched a done for you affiliate service that, hey, we'll get you to your first $100,000 generated with 0 ad spend. And it was the easiest offer to sell in the coaching market because everyone's losing money on Facebook ads and Google ads. They're like, oh, I can get 0 client acquisition. Yeah, as long as you have a list, we'll find people that will cross promote for you. And that's what Triton does. And it's one of our fastest growing departments in the agency. So, the riches are in the niches. You have to find the pain points, not just the opportunity. There's so many opportunity. You have to like see where are the people feeling the pain and try to just solve that.
Okay, outside of the health market, you got health, wealth, and happiness. Outside of the wealth market,
Yeah.
what's the strongest offer?
So like health or relationships. The relationship one is doing well for like women, helping them find a man.
You have that offer?
We have, no, that's not one of our offers. We see some people doing really well there.
Helping women find a man?
Big time.
Is that better than helping men find a woman?
Helping men find, I haven't seen that offer, to be honest. Like, I'm sure they're out there, but I don't have any optics there. Longevity,
So wait, hold on. How do you do, like, helping women find a man? Is this coaching and info, or is this?
So this one is more of like this is not a done for you offer that I have optics on.
Okay, but it's doing well.
Yeah, it's doing.
Is it low ticket, high ticket?
High ticket.
How high?
10 to 20K.
Done coaching?
Yeah, done with you.
So what does the fulfillment look like?
It's just coaching. It's like 90-day to 120-day.
Well, how do they help them get their man? Is it like spiritual bullshit, or is it like the love attract the man with the magnet in your heart or some chakra shit, or is it like, here's how to set up a dating profile, here's how to,
I don't know, to be honest. I didn't go too deep into it. I just have like, there's like 1,000 websites that I'm seeing.
Oh, I see.
And so from there, like, I know this one's doing really well. We've spoken to a few people about it too. We know, we've confirmed it's doing well, but like we don't have any plans of like launching something like that ourselves. So
that would be a good face. Like, you hire somebody. You know how many women there are that want to give advice on how to find a man?
How many women there are? Yeah, like that's
like that's all. Yeah, like that's like the number one topic of conversation at any lunch, any brunch.
Yeah.
Is like, like you could easily find someone to run that offer, right?
Yeah, there's so many offers to be had. There's like so many. Like, one of the best offers I see also is like these days with crypto, where all these so this is interesting. Helping high net worth individuals build their crypto portfolio and crypto set up the right way to minimize taxes and also to decrease volatility. It just goes after high ticket. That's also a good offer because it's very like, seasonal right now.
That sounds very, to me, that sounds very...
high risk?
Yeah, because like the nature of the business...
Again, courage.
You could get in trouble. Yeah, but I don't want to go to jail. Like, because then, like, imagine you hire somebody to be the face of that, and they screw it up with some, you know what I mean? Because now you got SEC and government organizations who could step in. So that's a little one. That one's a little bit too saucy for my taste, you know.
Yeah, but you're not managing their money. You're helping them position the portfolio the right way. They do it themselves. Because there's, especially rich people, they don't have that much time to figure these things out, you know? And you're talking about like day-to-day trading as well, potentially, because we're in a group chat together too. We're like, hey, this is happening, that's happening, you know?
Yeah.
So I think it's better to like be more on the professional side. Like, hey, we find that there's a negative correlation between these asset classes. We'll help you position the portfolio the right way. We've seen that work pretty well.
I like the relationship market now. Like I'm starting to, I don't know. I have a lot of interest in relationships.
So you go after the strongest pain points, right? Like like helping. So there's a pain point where there's a time clock helping women find the love of their life. That could be one. Even for men, like that are going through like a divorce because they don't want to look like, there's multiple reasons not to go through a divorce. There could be one. You chase the pain points. That's what I would do, and try to obviously search up like similar offers. And if you don't know if those offers exist, if you just search them up, you'll get retargeted on Facebook. And then what you can do is you can go on similar web and you can look at their traffic. And then you can see, oh, this guy's getting so much traffic. There's something here.
Okay, got it. And your highest profit margin offer, what was it?
So highest is like 70%, lowest is like 10%.
And what? Okay, so give me an example. What are the characteristics of a 70% profit margin offer and a 10% profit margin offer?
Yeah. Heavy on the fulfillment is the characteristic of a. So these are some of the things. High ticket, high ticket. We're talking about over 10K, could be 20K, could be 30K.
Okay.
For a 70% profit margin, this is what you're looking for. You're looking for high ticket. You're looking for heavy on the fulfillment side. Not many people can, like, especially in our market, right? Like so many people have chased the dream of making money selling passwords that they don't have. Don't have the skill set of
What do you mean selling passwords?
You know, like course login.
Oh, selling right, yeah.
You know, a course login is just a password you're giving away for $5,000. A $20,000 offer requires fulfillment. Not many people have built a team to make sure, you know, the fulfillment is done correctly. So heavy on the fulfillment, affinity with the market. That's another one. Like your story better resonate with me if I'm going to part ways with my hard-earned money.
Got it.
You know, affinity with the market is a thing. And also like the pain point needs to be great enough for me to part ways with 20 or 30K, you know?
I see.
Chase the pain point.
So you're not seeing any low ticket offers that are smashing like that.
Unless you have a big organic following.
Unless you have a bigger, but with that, now for the 70% profit margin ones, is the traffic with ads?
Yeah.
Are you selling them directly into the high ticket or are you selling them a low ticket first?
We have both funnels, but mainly direct. So it's heavy on the fulfillment and heavy on the sales process.
So what's the funnel look like? What's the marketing look like?
Ads.
Ads to a webinar or
ads into a VSL.
VSL.
And from VSL to email marketing, book a call. But I also have like a YouTube channel which creates trust as well.
Okay, so you go ads to a VSL, and do you ask for an opt-in or do they just watch the VSL and book your call?
I get
their
the
name
opt-in.
and email.
You
get the name and email, and then how long is the VSL?
The VSL is about 17 minutes actually.
17 minutes.
Yeah.
And then you take them to book a call.
Yeah.
That's it?
Yeah.
There's no, and your margins are 70%.
So there's an application, and from an application, we either qualify them sales qualified, marketing qualified, or not qualified. The non-qualified, we send them into our community where it's just like the course is available for $99 a month. So they go into a community everyone else, they speak with our program directors, and then from there they qualify them if they're a good fit for it or not. If they're not quite ready, we give them more material. But then they're also on the email sequence, and they're watching our YouTube videos. They're learning. They're building trust because giving off your hard-earned money, you need to build enough trust.
So you're doing this with the sales team.
Yeah, sales team.
Yeah. See, I hate sales teams. I've made 8 figures with sales teams. I believe if you don't design your life, you're going to live by someone else's design. And I made a decision a long time ago that I was going to figure out how to make the same amount of money without a sales team. So like last month, we did 800 grand. We collected just under 500. So cash collected was just under 500,000, like 490 something, right? Of 800. And I didn't use a sales team. I didn't do a single sales call. And it was all 25 and 50K offer.
Yeah.
So, but to be fair, I have to speak for 3 days.
That's what you have to do, yeah.
But dude, I'd rather work for 3 days. And I'm only speaking for 4 hours. I'm speaking for 4 hours a day for 3 days. I'd rather do that 3 days out of the month. And then the rest of the time basically do nothing or just shoot. What am I doing now? I'm shooting a YouTube video with you. We're chatting about marketing. Yeah. We're chatting about business. We do this anyway. We just did it the other night at dinner. Like, we just did it the other night at dinner. It's just, now there's a camera, right? Like, I'm not working, Like, we would do this anyway. And so, for me, working 3 days a week, 3 days a month, collecting 500 grand, 800 revenue.
Yeah.
And we collected 80 on the actual challenge tickets. So my paid presentation that I did, we made 80,000 on the paid presentation, which paid for all my videos, my ads, my team. Like, it just paid for it.
Yeah.
Okay. So like people say like, well, yeah, but what's profit? Motherfucker, it was 800 grand profit, 500 cash collected. The 80. So actually we did 880 plus we did almost $1 million because we have our membership site and all that. So between my membership site and the 80 we did in tickets, we paid for all expenses in the business. The 800 revenue was profit. The 500 was cash collected profit in the bank.
Boom.
Boom.
Okay. Honestly, like event and challenge, like funnels and marketing setups are some of the most profitable ones we've seen, 100%.
Yeah. So I'll be real with you. I'm trying to get inside that brain and figure out what is that unicorn blue ocean offer that I can then with the fulfillment, all that, and then I can combine it with my magic of the paid presentation. Okay. Because what I would do is I would go add to paid presentation right to the high ticket, and I'd skip the sales team like you do. Most people can't do what you do. Most people can't operate at 70% margins, add VSL, book a call, and then it's very hard to do. You're just really good at it. Let's be, But a paid presentation, the amount of skill it takes to do that is extraordinarily lower. I can take it.
Really?
See,
I've been on the other side, and like that's what I'm a master of, and I've seen event funnels do really well, and I'm gonna enter that as well, because there's multiple ways of selling.
I got 100K off of you. Right? Of course. But you don't have to be that good to make money from a paid presentation.
Hey, so is this whole interview to sell me? Is that your funnel?
Just demonstrate.
Your funnel.
My funnel. YouTube interviews.
That's a funnel too.
Yeah.
But no, you're right. Like there's different ways of setting up. And to be honest, if you did both, you did the events and you did the VSL, you'll probably make 2 times more money. There's people like that doing that too.
Yeah, I just don't want to have a sales lead.
Well, what you can do is like have a sales manager manage everything. You make maybe 10% less, 15% less, but now you open up another avenue of revenue.
Yeah, I just want to.
The answer is you have to do everything to make the most amount of money.
I just want to be a dick and say I made millions without any salespeople.
Yeah.
I'd rather do that. Just to be a dick.
Soon AI is going to replace them too. It's 1 or 2 years away. So that's the plan. I'm doing the Uber model. Right now I have the drivers. Right now I have the salespeople. Yeah. In about 1.5 years, I probably won't.
But do you know what's interesting? So you're extremely good at video sales letters, right? You're extremely good. Do you know why anybody can make money with a paid presentation? Think about this. When's the last time you saw a movie trailer and there was something in the movie trailer you didn't like? Just one little thing. So you know what? I'm not buying a ticket to go see that movie. How often does that happen to you? You see one little thing you don't like, you don't buy a ticket, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, all the time, right? But what happens when you buy a ticket? You go, you sit in the seat, you got your popcorn, you got your drink, and in the first 5 minutes of the movie, you see something you don't like. Do you get up and leave?
No, you're already committed.
You're already committed. You're there for the whole movie, no matter how shitty it is. But maybe something happens in the movie that you're like, wow, no, actually, that was a good movie, okay? With a VSL or even a webinar, if you do one thing wrong, they leave. It's like a movie trailer. You're just really good, so you happen to not do those. I've seen your sheet, all the points you hit. Dude, it's like super nerdy. The average person is that'll explode their brain, right? A paid presentation, they've paid money to be there.
Right.
You don't have to do everything perfect. They will sit through the whole thing. Dude, I spoke for 4 hours yesterday. We had nearly 100% retention.
Wow. Like people that just joined.
Nobody left. Like 10 people
Or
left.
people come and go as well.
233 people, like 10 people left. And that's only because I went late. Up until the moment that it was supposed to go to, I didn't have anybody leave.
How many of those people buy usually, like towards the end? And how long? How long was the presentation?
I did a VIP hour, and then I did a 3.5-ish hour general.
So just 3.5 hours. People paid how much? $99?
97 or 297 for VIP.
Okay, so just 3 hours, people paid $99 to $297 to be there, and then you just made the pitch after 3 hours.
I don't pitch the first day. The second day I pitch at the end of the second day. The third day I just pitch again, basically at the end of the third day.
Wow! Yeah. So you have like 3-day event that you're selling $97.
You can also do it an hour a day for 5 days. That's fine too. I want to get in and out in 3 days. There's like some people, Dan, what's the secret? Is it 3 days instead of? I'm like, no, I just don't want to work for 5 days. I want to get in and out. I want to work 3 days a month.
Yeah,
that's what I want to do.
No, eventually I'm going to do this as well. I'm going to add this to it because there's other challenges with the VSL. Like this is how I launch things because it's speed to market is great. Yeah. You don't have to design that 3-day extensive presentation or even like a funnel for a $97 thing. This is speed to market. Yeah. But what you're saying is phenomenal because you now have people showing up for 3 days. You know, they've seen you over 3 days. They feel like they're friends with you.
Yeah, and I keep it real chill. I'm not like very it's a very relaxed experience.
Nice.
I'm writing on a whiteboard. There's no
having fun as well.
Having fun, chatting with people.
Yeah.
It's really, really cool. And it's fun. It's like this for 3 days, you know? And we get
IV done like Tony Robbins so you feel even more jacked up on the
bro, I usually take a vitamin B12 shot.
Okay.
You know, just stick it in my and have some coffee and I'm good to go.
Nice.
But we sign up dozens and dozens of clients, premium clients.
And what the CTA, like, do they go to a phone call or no?
No, bro, here's what I do. So literally it's the simplest thing. I take them to a page. I call it an offer explanation page. There's no sales copy. It's just, here's what you get, submit a deposit. Okay. They submit a $1,000 deposit. On the thank you page, they get my phone number. I say, look, I've explained everything to you. You know what you're getting. The only thing you could be concerned about is one of two things. Will it work for you? And what are the payment arrangements? Like, how can we make the payments work for you? So if you're serious, put down a $1,000 deposit. On the next page, you will see my phone number. Text me. I will answer it. Just ask me whatever you want to ask me. I'm not going to do a phone call. Just ask me whatever you want to ask me about if it'll work for you, whatever. So they ask me, usually it's 1 or 2 questions and it's simple stuff, or they don't even ask me anything. They're just like, I'm ready to go. And I say, okay, boom. And then I send them over to Stephanie, who will set up their wire or their payment arrangements or whatever. I send them over to my assistant and they handle it. Done. That's it. No phone calls, no sales team.
Beautiful.
And what's funny is, this is such a dick move. I turn the ringer on. So while I'm pitching, the phone's going ding,
Social proof.
ding,
Love it.
ding. And it was, dude, it dinged 33 times on the last event. We
Jeez.
had 33 and people were, it was cute at first, and then it started getting annoying because I'm like, oh, there's another one. Oh, there's another one. Oh, there's another one. But the
FOMO.
social proof was incredible.
Beautiful.
It was incredible, you know? And yeah, dude, simplest model.
How many of the 1K buyers convert into a high ticket sale?
So we had
HHT.
HHT, yeah. Most of them. What we had was there was a few people that dropped off. I'm gonna be honest. I'm an honest guy. I didn't think that many people. I didn't think we would sell that many, and so I'm in Dubai, right? And most people are on the other time zone, and so I just couldn't get back to people because I was like, it was just so many. So this time what we're doing is Stephanie is also going to text them and help out and be like, listen, Dan's asleep right now, you know. But also that was the first launch. We had way more people on than I normally have because it was the first one. There's less people on this one because it's, so I think it'll be fine. But I think a couple people went cold. But honestly, the people that didn't buy were people who were in weird industries. So they put down a deposit. They weren't in a normal industry that we normally serve.
Yeah.
They were a little iffy, and then added us taking a while to get back to them. They, you know, but that's fine because that's not even the industry that I serve, right?
Yeah.
So I don't even know why they put down a deposit, but the vast majority, almost 100% of the people who were the target market, who submitted a deposit, bought.
Love it. Honestly, like it's all about spending enough time with the prospect, especially with high ticket. That's one of the problems you need to solve. So what we're learning as well is the sales process is so involved, you know, but what you can like win with is when you have, that's why like I'm working on a book as well that we talked about. And what you can win with is this 3-day presentation format. Do it once a month. Or if you get really lazy, what you could even do is like keep the sales, like what I might do is just have the sales process running, but I will have my team do an event every month and I'll show up on the last day or like show up on the pitch day.
Yeah, you can run it. You can run it evergreen where it just plays.
Yeah.
You could do it automated, but I like the community aspect of it.
Especially in the beginning. I love the community aspect too, to be honest.
Yeah. Would I try? I like doing it live personally.
Yeah.
Would I try to play it recorded? Maybe I'll do it once just to see what'll happen. But yeah, I'd be interested to know if maybe I'll try it one time. I'll get this one down really solid. Because what I do to make it better is at the end of each day, I give them a free gift if they fill out a feedback survey for the end of each day.
Nice.
I take the answers from the feedback survey, and then I just improve the next event, and then I improve the next event, and I improve the next event.
What's the feedback gift of your book?
No,
Another funnel?
No, I do. I just do a break. I do like a Tony Robbins pitch breakdown, or this person pitch break. I do a pitch breakdown.
Oh, really?
Of
that's the gift?
Yeah, they love seeing me break down people's pitches.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's all I did. So, yeah. But it's a great model, and my very first client for this had 60 people on a paid presentation and did $200,000 in sales with 60 people.
Wow.
I mean, imagine you sell $60, $97 tickets.
What was the offer?
It was how to get clients with a podcast.
like this. Just kidding.
No. No, he had actually his model was it was very
beautiful. $200,000 cash collected or booked revenue.
He did no. I think he collected like 150.
Beautiful.
Which was actually really good.
That's phenomenal. 3 days?
He did a 5-day.
Yeah.
There's not, I mean,
you know, on the back end,
no difference. There's no difference.
We did this as well. Like this is how I did once like $1 million in booked revenue in a day, where I had all my buyers basically that bought it and do it yourself. And then I had a high ticket offer on the back end that I introduced for the very first time. And I just did a webinar for like 3 hours straight. And bro, it was some of the easiest sales. Like people complicated that, even I complicated, man, like doing this event's going to be, but yeah, if you get people to invest or invest 3 hours with you and you have a really good offer at the end,
Yeah.
game over. That's how I did $1 million a day. I should just do that more often.
Maybe you're so what we just talk all this shit about how to make money, and at the end of the day, the thing that makes you the most money is the paid presentation.
I mean, it's yeah, like that's honestly there's a few. So our
sign
market,
up now to the Epic Pitch Challenge.
Do it,
Link in
do
the
it.
description.
do it. The money is congregating in like two pools I'm seeing, and it is this event model that you're doing, Dan, and there's this done for you high ticket,
So what if I combine them?
and that's it. That's it. This is where it is, and I think this is like the biggest takeaway for the audience. Sure, if you end up having a big organic audience, you could like touch anything and it turns into gold, but those people are few and far between, and it's, you know, it's a long game. I'm doing that, plugging away one YouTube video a week, blah blah blah, but like that's not how you get to the promised land in the fastest way possible. I think it's these two tools of money.
Interesting. Cool, brother. So much knowledge, so much. I could honestly sit here and pick your brain about offers,
Same here.
and you know, and just all this stuff for hours and hours. What would you say to? We'll end with this. What would you say to somebody who, you know, they don't have our skills, they're fascinated by this conversation, but they're newer, right? But they want to get into this info game, and maybe they don't necessarily want to be the face of it, right? But they want to make money with it. What would you tell them?
I think if you're just starting out, don't get in the info game. I think you need to be an expert in something first. Obviously, you need to have expertise, and first, like, help out people on a one-to-one like service model, like an agency almost model.
but even if it was service, whatever. I mean,
Right.
But they still don't want their face to be
there.
I
I think that's the second step. I think in the beginning, it's better for you to, because you're going to have to pay someone and then you have to make sure they do a good job. But like, if you don't want in the beginning, you should have your face, or you should collaborate with someone like our friend Nito, right? His brother went to Harvard and he is doing an offer with his brother. His brother is going to be the face. There's a tight relationship there where they can work together. And that offer is going to resonate with people, helping people get into like Ivy League schools at Harvard. That's going to crush it for Nito, I think, you know? I was helping him on his offer too. So I do what the audience needs, you know, like in the beginning. I think that's what you got to do. Worry about like, hey, I don't want to be the face. If there's someone better than you that should be the face, have them be the face, you know? Audience first, I guess.
Audience first. Brother, this was so insightful.
It was, man, a lot of fun.
A lot of gold here. Hope people enjoyed it. Thank you for coming, man.
Good seeing you.